軍の編成が違うだけでここまで機能不全に陥るといくら模擬戦とはいえこれはまずいな。俺たちの軍はまるで連携が取れていない。
パラオが参ったぞ。押されておるのか。父上が心配なのじゃ。
彼女は光秀殿の娘。父親と一緒ならうまく連携が取れるはずだ。私が行こう。僕の番だ。
Yeah, I don't think those mods work anymore, man. As they patched the game and the people who made the cheat engine tables never came back, updated the values.
せっかくの増援もこのままじゃ無駄になる。力を発揮できる相手のもとへ誘導すべきなのだ。
Rip mods, yeah. I missed the mod that lets you force the Pandemonium mode. That's why I stopped playing this game. Because I like the extra challenge that Pandemonium mode adds. I just don't like that it's completely random. And you can't like select what map you want to do. That really killed the replay value for me. I was having fun doing those challenge runs and stuff, but can't do that anymore.
父上の危機なのじゃ。パラワが助けに行くぞ。
私が行こう。超支流剣山。
父上、やっと会えたのじゃ。
増援とはあなたでした。娘とならうまく足並みを揃えられるでしょう。光秀殿の部隊はこれで大丈夫だ。さあ次は関運長援軍として参った。随分劣勢のようだな。関羽殿が来てくれたか。うまくやれば加工殿殿を焚きつけられるかもしれない。カウン殿、加工殿殿が苦戦しているようです。案内しますので加勢してもらえますか。承知した。私こそ真の三国無双だ。僕の番だ。私が行こう。ここだ。超支流剣山。こうも思い通りにならぬと少し仕置きが必要か。混成軍の面々は手間取ったようだね。それじゃあ我ら武田には手も足も出んよ。カウンどうか。仲間と合流するとは厄介だ。この雪村がお相手いたす。よかろう。お主の槍 拙者の刃で打ち砕かん。されていると聞いたの。
余計なことを吹き込んだ奴がいるものだな。定の手など借りぬ。そこで見ていろ。
白鵬と殿の目の色が変わった。きっとこれでなんとかなるだろう。おいおい、しっかり包囲されてるな。武田軍相手じゃ分が悪いか。最後は芝生殿か。果汁殿のもとへ案内するのがいいだろう。芝生殿、果汁殿の部隊に助勢してもらえますか。俺たちが案内します。ああ、分かったぜ。果汁なら一緒にいても気が楽だ。敵の増援か。親方様のためにも通すわけにはいかない。そうなるよな。めんどくせえけどやるしかないか。よう果樹、援軍に来てやったぜ。
師匠、俺を笑いに来たのか。来たからには手を貸す。
二人は風景の友。息ぴったりにうまく動いてくれるだろう。
信玄公、遅くなり申し訳ない。ここからは我ら徳川軍が助勢いたそう。わしらも行くとするかね。本番はここからじゃよ。
ソイ、ひるまず敵の援軍を迎え撃ちなさい。
敵の包囲は俺が蹴散らす。総員、中央を守りきれ。今さら敵の増援と体勢はとうに立て直した。迎撃し
勢いは俺たちにあります。このまま信玄殿と家康殿を倒しましょう。娘をこれ以上危険な目に遭わせたくないですね。私が前に出ます。
今日の父上はいつも以上に気合が入っておる。かっこいいのじゃ。
光秀殿、模擬戦とはいえ一切手は抜かぬ。さあ我に挑め。
お互い娘が見ている前での戦いです。私も譲るわけにはいきません。
真田の忍びとしてここは負けられない。ドロン。
この過去を現状を抜かせると思うな。
さすがは加工と見事な敵。
そのまま敵を引きつけろ。各部隊孤立せぬよう注意するんだ。
果汁に任せとけば心配いらねえな。俺は適当にやるか。
姑息な手を使いよるわ。影の遠兵剣山。
よっ、待ってました。さすがは半蔵の旦那。
この身をもって敵取り出とならん。剣山。
いざ参る。よし。
No, they really didn't add much to this game. I mean, they put out the DLC. The DLC is pretty bad. The only good thing about the DLC is this map and the new Sacred Treasures actually made a lot of the characters who got stuck with shitty ones actually playable. The Dynasty Warriors characters were really bad. They were like really shitty because they couldn't they didn't have elements on their EX attacks. And they fixed that. That was like one of the last things they did with this game, and they just stopped supporting it. The frame rate on the base PS4 is really bad. I think on Pro it's like uncapped. And on PC it's like pretty good port. It's running kind of slow right now, probably because I'm streaming. I turned some settings up. But I also have not played this game in months, and I just got a new graphics card a couple weeks ago. I probably just have to tweak it when I'm streaming. No, this port's pretty good. I actually just turned up some settings because I was trying to kind of test my new setup. You know, it's mostly the particle effects. If you turn those off, I got like a lock 60, even with like all the crap I'm putting on the screen. But the particle effects in this game are like Marvel vs. Capcom level of excessive. Like, you can't even see what you're doing sometimes with all the particle effects on, so it's actually kind of nice to have them lower, because you can see what the hell you're doing. No, the problem with this game is that it has no end game. You finish the game and that's it. This is really the only DLC map they added that I actually enjoy playing. And they don't even have like new assets for them or anything. They're all just completely recycled from the game. It feels like it took them like 5 minutes to make the DLC for this. This one is just good because it has a lot of officers and it's pretty challenging, especially when they all congregate in the center. Like, it can be pretty challenging unless you have like a good setup to try to keep them all in the air. But the rest of the DLC is really lackluster and low effort. And they never came back and like added like an end game of any sort. There's nothing to do in this game. Yeah, I don't get why they killed support for this game so quickly. They can't make another one of these for a couple years. They have to make a Samurai Warriors 5, and then they have to declone all the Dynasty Warriors 9 characters. That's gonna take who knows how long. So you think they would like try to keep this game relevant and actually keep adding things to it. The game itself is really fun, it's just you run out of things to do really quickly. And there's not even really a point in maxing out characters because there's nothing to use them on. It's still fun to play this map sometimes and just kill shit. Yeah, pretty much everything that matters maxed out. Characters, obviously, their peon count and the draw distance. The texture levels and filters. Well, none of this other stuff, like, it doesn't even make a difference having it on. There were some performance issues, I remember when it came out, but they fixed it within, like, 1 or 2 weeks. I know decals and volumetric fog kill the frame rate in a lot of the other Koei games. I don't think it has as much of an impact here. It's mostly the particle effects is what kills the frame rate, mostly because it just how much it has to render. But a lot of that depends on how you play the game too. If you play it like I am and you're just like constantly chaining stuff together, then it has more of an impact. But if you don't, then it probably doesn't matter. I'm gonna do that again because that was fun, and I'm probably just gonna play something else. The rest of these maps are pretty bad, and they don't really have anything that sets them apart from the other ones. Aside from the story stuff, but most people think that the story in this game is pretty bad. Especially since they lose their memories and they forget everybody and then they remember again. It's like, well, what was the point? And then a lot of the same characters, I think they still interact with each other. So So there's like not even much of a not even much of a point to having them forget each other. They're just going to interact with the exact same characters, and I don't understand what the purpose is. That's the thing, though. They can't make another one because they have to make a whole 2 other games. So it makes no sense to me from a business standpoint to just kill this game support after like, what, like 2 months? I'm glad they at least had the decency to come back and make the Dynasty Warriors characters not so awful, but I don't really see why they couldn't have added like an endgame mode. That's the biggest complaint most people have with this game, is not the story or anything. It's really only the hardcore lore people that really give a shit about the story. It's mostly just that the gameplay is really fun, but there's just nothing to use all these characters on. Yeah, it's a pretty urgent issue that was never addressed. This map is the closest you get to an endgame, because it's actually very challenging. It's also really hard if you get it on Pandemonium mode, but you can't choose when that happens. I had a PC mod that made it so I could force the Pandemonium mode, and I was having a lot of fun making videos of that with like my favorite teams and stuff. But then they updated the game, and the cheat engine table doesn't work anymore. So that's really the only reason why I stopped playing this, is just there was nothing left for me to really do besides the achievements, and the achievements are just more grindy, boring stuff. There's no skill involved, it's just grinding for the sake of grinding. Get a bunch of useless weapons that don't do anything, and they're like actually worse than the ones you can get normally. I didn't even really like the Gauntlet mode in 3 Ultimate because you couldn't tag, and the game just didn't have any flow. So honestly, if they had added Gauntlet mode again and they still didn't let you tag in this game, I probably still would have stopped playing it. That's what's fun about this game, is just like your skill level can really make you just unstoppable. You can just chain everything together. Really enjoyable, but nothing really encouraging you to play that way besides just, you want to challenge yourself.
軍神関羽殿か。仲間と合流されては厄介だ。こういう木村がお相手いた。僕の番だ。
よかろう。お主の槍、拙者の刃で打つ砕かん。多幸と助立ちに参った。押されていると聞いた。
余計なことに吹き込んだ奴がいるものだな。貴様の手など借りぬ。そこで見ていろ。
コータン殿のメモリーか。きっとこれでなんとかなる。おいおい、すっかり包囲されてるな。武田軍相手じゃ分が悪いか。最後は芝生殿か。果汁殿のもとへ案内するのがいいだろうな。
This game is Wars of Orochi 4.
芝生殿、果汁殿の部隊に助勢してもらえますか。俺たちが案内します。ああ、分かったぜ。果汁なら一緒にいても気が楽だ。敵の増援か。親方様のためにも通すわけにはいかない。そうなるよな。めんどくせえけどやるしかないか。ここは譲れない。いざ前へ。やあ果樹、援軍に来てやったぜ。
師匠、これを笑いに来たのか。まあいい。来たからには手を貸せ。
二人は軍系の友。息ぴったりにうまく動いてくれるだろう。
信玄公、遅くなり申し訳ない。ここからは我ら徳川軍が助勢いたそう。東名も行くとするかね。本番はここからじゃよ。
ソイン、ひるまず敵の援軍を迎え撃ちなさい。
敵の包囲は俺が決断す。総員、中央を守りきれ。
今さら敵の増援と体勢はとうに立て直した。迎撃し
勢いは俺たちにあります。このまま信玄殿と家康殿を倒しましょう。娘をこれ以上危険な目に遭わせたくないですね。私が前に出ます。
今日の父上はいつも以上に気合が入っておる。かっこいいのじゃ。真田の忍びとしてここは負けられない。ドロン。しくじっちゃいました。
Yeah, you messed up alright. You got comboed for like a minute straight.
この過去を現状を抜かせると思うな。
さすがは加工と見事な覇気。
行くぞ雪村、兄上、真田の戦我らで示しましょう。
そのまま敵を引きつけろ。各部隊孤立せぬよう注意する。
果汁に任せとけば心配いらねえな。俺は適当にやる。
師匠たち援軍を誘導したのはお前か。おかげでうまく回ったの。
いえ、俺は少し手伝いをしただけです。皆が実力を出し切れてよかった。この力で皆を守りきる。いざ尋常に勝負。 なんという闘志。あなたの戦ここに示さん。超支流剣山。モノノフの魂この槍にて残艦。
この身をもって敵砦とならん。
我が闘志まだ燃え尽きてはいない。勢いがあると修造軍とはいえ侮れんのだ。
とんだ平八止められまいぞ。
この機を逃すわけにはいきません。衝突です。
光秀殿、二戦とはいえ一切手は抜かん。さあ誰に挑め。
お互い娘が見ている前での戦いです。私も譲るわけにはいきません。任務を完遂できないなんてダメだ。すぎる。
家康様に手出しはさせません。
この状態の直虎が相手なんてな、まるで手が抜けねえぜ。
ここを抜ければ敵本陣は目前。リナ猛進します。
なんかめんどくさそうなのが来た。とっとと片付けるに限る。
本田忠勝と娘リナ、いざ尋常に勝負。すみません、手をさせてください。私ごときのかなう相手じゃなかったです。
本田平八郎忠勝押してまいる。無事にこそ抱きすべきものなり。ごめん。
ここはアリ一匹通さんぞ。光明神アポロンの力を借りる者。辛酸をなめようと生きねばならんのだ。
私こそ真の三国無双だ。
連携が取れなければ取れるようにすればいい。
Mock battle.
多くのことが学べたな。俺は
Mock battle where people are getting like juggled for seconds on end for their entire health bar. Just walk it off. Totally doesn't hurt at all. These are like Nerf weapons or something. Just called down like holy lightning from Zhao Yun, and that's Nerf lightning too, I guess. That's the best level in the game by far. That is the only thing that makes the DLC worth buying, is that level. It's legit hard if you're not well equipped and you don't know how to like chain combos together and stuff. You don't have a good team that can keep them up in the air. It's not as relevant in this game as it was in the last one. In the last one you didn't have the whirlwind that gave you the relaunch. But when they all congregate in the center and all the Chaos Origins are there, that can go south really fast. You can get killed really easily. You have to kill the Chaos Origins really quickly, otherwise nothing's going to stagger to anything, and they won't take any damage. I wish they had more stuff like that in this game. Just like some kind of endgame challenge, more like that level, and like some equivalent rewards for it, like accessories like in the last game or something. That would have given that game a lot more replay value. But all I do on that game now is I just play that level a couple times and get it out of my system. I don't really have any desire to play it anymore past that. Oh, I wasn't on my layout the whole time. I'm sorry. There we go. Well, the problem with Basara is just that it has so many shitty levels that are all just like Mario Party type gimmicks, which are fitting for what Basara is supposed to be. It's supposed to be something that's not taken seriously. But like, just playing the game and just wanting to get to a playable scenario you can enjoy the great combat system is far too difficult. And they went like really overboard with the gimmicks in Sumeragi and 4 in general. 3 had a much more arcadey style of level design. It's made that game infinitely more replayable, but it's also hard to go back to now because 4 brought a lot of improvements. Yeah, but Sorrow 4 has no training mode. There's really only a couple levels that you can just turn on and play. Kind of like that level I was just doing on Orochi. Basara is very lacking in levels like that. It's just like no stupid Mario Party gimmicks or anything. Like just drop you in a place and let you enjoy the combat. That's the worst thing about that game. Everything else about it is really good. It's just, I don't know, I kind of feel like not having too many levels where you can just enjoy the combat is a pretty major flaw, considering that's all the game is combat. You can have a great combat system, and if there's just like not enough places to use it without stupid gimmicks and stuff, then that's a pretty major flaw. That's what I hate about DMC5, is they have a shitty character like V in the game that totally kills the replay value. He's no fun to play whatsoever. And they force you to play as him. You can't just like switch him out unless you're on PC. That's the kind of shit fighting games don't, like action games don't need. This game is infinitely more replayable than DMC5. Like, obviously the graphics aren't as good and stuff, but like the moveset quality and just the flow of gameplay in this is really good. Like, this game is just straight action. There's no stupid stuff. The only thing that's kind of gimmicky in this game is there's a stealth level. But I was a beta tester on this game, and I was one of the people that suggested having a way to skip that. And now you can just skip it straight up. You never have to do it. This game is just straight action. It's such a infinitely more replayable game than a lot of other games like this, because it doesn't have any stupid gimmicks. I feel like they put that stuff in there for the game journalists that don't even know how to play these games, because they complain that it's a mindless button masher and they play on easy and they don't like actually bother to learn the mechanics. But people who actually enjoy playing them don't like that stuff because it gets really old. It goes by no damage. And the stealth level in this, honestly, it's not that bad. But it's kind of like Metal Gear, like if you have it on like European Extreme, where if you get caught, you can't fight. It just puts you back to the checkpoint. And now I'm invisible for some reason. Alright, now I'm not invisible anymore. But it's still a couple minutes long, and it really doesn't fit with the pacing of the rest of the game. But now you can just straight up skip it. Now, I have fun just playing the campaign in this. I think this is actually one of the better character action game campaigns because it doesn't have any stupid stuff. There's no like mini games or escort missions or walking sections or anything like that. It's just straight fighting, which is what makes it so replayable. There's nothing like Bayonetta. Bayonetta 1 was definitely a lot worse than Bayonetta 2. Even Bayonetta 2 had some really long-ass auto-scrollers as well that just don't really serve any purpose. And I'll show you the, oh, my controls are all messed up. What? I'll show you the stealth skip. So normally you have to go through here, and there's like a whole stealth section. I guess I'll go ahead and I'll show that. But there's a secret door down here where you just skip it entirely. And there you go. You don't even have to do the stealth. You just go straight to the end. And it's like not a bug or anything. It's actually intentional. Because he was pointed off by me and the other people who tested the game that was really going to kill the replay value. The only thing I don't like is he took out the unlimited super mode. I really wanted to do some speed runs with that, but I talked to him and he said it was removed because it was causing too many problems, like bugs and stuff. And this game's made by a solo developer, so I guess he came to the decision to take it out. So now you beat the game on the hardest difficulty, and there's like not really any reward for it anymore. That was the reward before. I kind of wish he would come to some kind of compromise and put it back in. So the extreme mode on this is really fun. The hardest difficulty is actually very challenging, and you really have to be playing like at a high level to get through it. The only bad part is the final boss is awful, and I guess he just never went back and tuned that. Let's see if I feel like doing anything else tonight. I don't know if I feel like setting up all the cheat engine tables and stuff to play DMC5. Assault Spy is a very replayable game just because the game doesn't have any dumb gimmicks. I think that game does a better job of like actually being as replayable as they try to sell it to be than a lot of other ones. They were talking about how DMC5 was supposed to be heavily replayable, yet there's barely any unlockables. And you're stuck with a shitty character like V, and you're forced to play as him every single time you beat the game. And it totally sucked the fun out of that game for me. I need to go back and finish DMD now that there's just a damage multiplier. You can just make everything die in one hit. That's the only way I'll ever bother playing through that game again. Assault Spy, both the characters are fun. I mean, you unlock tag mode, which is like huge. That is the only character action game where you have tag mode, like at least a good one anyway, with like a good moveset and stuff. And it has Bloody Palace. And Bloody Palace is fun to go through as well. It doesn't take as long as like a DMC run does. Like the DMC5 Bloody Palace is still really long. The only thing they really did to fix that was they just made it so that you can quick save and back out. Assault Spy 1, I don't even think it's like an hour long. Maybe about an hour tops, depending on how you're playing. It's a very, very good pick up and play character action game. And a lot of other ones aren't like that. DMC4 is a shitty pick up and play game because the only reason people played it for as long as they did is because of the Bloody Palace. The campaign is terrible. DMC5 is completely ruined by the fact that you can't play as who you want when you want. So that completely kills the campaign. Even if you like playing as all three characters, you still have to play through like half of the game before you get access to Dante even once. Yeah, I think that's really shitty design. There was supposed to be some kind of rumor where they were going to have a mode where you could play as any character. Now, obviously, you can do that on PC, but console players are SOL there. No, I don't really consider that game to have good replay value, unless you're one of the, like, 5 people that actually like playing as all 3 characters. Like, pretty much anybody who plays at a high level hates playing as V because he sucks. His moveset's garbage, and the playstyle is boring. Yeah, Raz and Assault Spy, that's not a problem. Both characters are very fun to play. They're very unique. They really don't have that many useless moves. Pretty much everything can be applied in some situation. Even more when you unlock tag mode, you can really easily set up some of the slower moves and things like that. It's just such a fun game to play once you get to the point where you've actually mastered the movesets. The enemies aren't really that much of a problem. It's mostly just learning how to control the character, because they have so many moves and you really have to keep an eye on things because almost every enemy is ranged. So you can't just like play like you would other games. I need to go into NVIDIA Inspector for a second. Hold on. Actually, let's see how this runs without Inspector.
Let's go!
The best deal they've had on this was last week. They were selling the game for $38 and they had a free weekend. Yeah, this game is perpetual. It's like a Nintendo game. It's always expensive. And you think with how much they screwed up this localization that they would lower the price. I actually have it on the Switch, and it's like one of the most expensive Switch games. Like just buying it from GameStop, it's like still like a full $50, even used.
I caught a lot today, too. Leave it to me.
Switch! Allow me!
Let's go.
My turn now!
Allow me!
Let's go. Hold down a little.
My turn
Stronger again.
Allow me!
Yeah, there's
something in the tree.
A lot of people have been saying they miss East 8 because of that Oninaki game that just came out, and the combat in that is like super slow. Dude, I tried the demo for that game, I couldn't even get the controls to work. Like, the controls were completely messed up, and the combat's like slow as molasses. I mean, it seemed like a cool idea, but I mean, if you're gonna have a game be mostly combat, then like, make the combat not boring. And it's getting panned in reviews too, which is sad. I can tell that team has a lot of passion, and they just don't have the experience to make games that people actually want to play. Feels like they need like some better combat designer or something. Well, unfortunately, the reality is passion does not guarantee a good product. That's just the harsh reality of it. And I can tell they have a lot of passion and they want to bring back games like this that aren't very prevalent these days, but that doesn't mean that we need to bend over and buy it. They need to make a good product. Especially with how expensive their games are. It feels like their game should be like no more than $30. Just like the graphics and the way that they look and everything. It's not going to appeal to most people at that price. And I'm down to take risks on like unknown developers and games and stuff, but at that price it's a lot harder for me to justify it. And then actually playing the game myself and hating the combat, that's a whole other thing entirely. This game apparently doesn't really have that many RPG elements. It's mostly just like towns. You can't even go in the houses apparently. So if it's just towns and it's just like hub towns and dungeons, then the combat had better be damn good. And if it's not, then what's the point in playing it? I mean, if you just want a good story, then read a book. Or watch an anime or a movie or something. I've never really considered, like, having an amazing story a good reason to play a video game. If the gameplay sucks, then I'd rather just watch someone play it. And people are open to like what they want, but I think a video game with good narrative and trash story or trash gameplay is pointless. At least to actually play it. Usually in that situation you get a better experience just from like not playing it and watching someone else do it. Elden Sphere, the remake, was a good game. I definitely really enjoyed it.
A person named we don't know about
I felt the New Game Plus was very underwhelming, though, because they just give everything, like, 5 billion HP. And you just start, like, doing... Felt like you're doing pixels of damage. A very enjoyable one playthrough game. New Game Plus is kind of pushing it. They didn't really make it as fun as they should have.
Allow me.
Let's go!
Switch! Yes! Oh, something
Leave it to me! I'll take this! Let's go!
And it's East 8. This is one of the best tracks in the game. I only got like halfway through this on the PS4. I felt like it was too long. It just started to drag on after a while, and I'm attempting to try to finish it again before 9 comes out. I'm kind of debating importing it, but it's going to be like $80, and they've been adding a lot more reading-intensive stuff to these games, whereas before they really had barely any reading involved at all, unless you cared about the story.
Allow me.
I've been better. I hate this shit, man. That's what I don't like about this game, is like, you can't just... You have to keep doing these stupid quests and stuff, and I don't remember where they are. Like, pretty sure I got everything over there. I don't know what the fuck it wants. Like, just let me run through the game. Not have to do all this boring stuff. The game like flows well when it just like lets you run around and fight stuff, but having to do this all the time just gets boring. I think this is where I need to go, but I don't have enough people. I don't remember where the people are. I've been skipping all the cutscenes. What area? I already played through like 60% of this game, so just spoil it. I don't care. I don't remember where to go. And the stupid captain won't shut up about the watchtower. I already got this one. I don't remember what the other one is. Captain dies anyway because the doctor betrays them. What the hell should I care? Captain dies like a chump. The doctor's an easy boss fight too. I really hate the map in this game. I think that's why I didn't finish this game. I was enjoying the combat, but it's just so damn easy to get lost. I already got this over here. I don't know what the hell the stupid captain wants. I just want to get to the next dungeon. He won't shut up about the stupid watchtower. Like, dude, go build it yourself. Why do I have to do it? This game is like the worst map I've ever seen. It's so difficult to tell exactly where you need to go because of how heavily instanced it is. What the hell does the game want? I just want to go back, like, continue. I wish they hadn't, like, patched this game and improved the map. Look at where it's telling me to go. So you think it's over here, but it's not. The map is terrible, and there's, like, not that much going on in this open world. Like, just straight up tell me where to go, and the game would flow a lot better. I totally don't know where to go. I don't remember. It's been like a year since I played this. What big tree? I feel like this game could be like half the size and it would be much better. It'd be so much harder to get lost. What the hell does it want? I didn't get stuck on this the first time either. Ah, there we go.
We did it!
What's up, asshole?
How can I help you? Take care.
I don't get why they kill off the captain so quickly in this game, and it's just from some random NPC. He just, like, dies like a chump.
And let me see. You didn't make much progress.
The captain's, like, one of the more tolerable characters, too, and he just dies to nothing.
Tell me anything.
Yeah. What a chump.
All right, I got it.
The story in these games is never anything to write home about anyway. I just feel like this is the only one where it actually does have an adverse effect, because the game it feels like it was too long. I think I played it like 20-30 hours and it like still wasn't over.
All right then.
Like, it felt like they could have made it like a 10-hour game and it would have been more replayable. I want to try to finish it because I am kind of interested in the next game. It actually looks improved in some ways.
Please, take your time. Please come again.
I don't remember what to do next. I guess I have to find more people, but I don't remember where they are. Over here? Yeah, the map in this game is really bad. I think the map is the worst part of this game. This is like one of the few adventure games where the character doesn't control like an obese smoker. You don't have any stupid crap like a stamina bar that only lets you sprint for like 5 seconds before being tired. It's like traversing the world is actually really fun. It's just the map is so awkward. And a lot of that is because this was originally a Vita game, so everything has to be in really small zones for that console to be able to handle it. But when they ported it to PS4 and PC, they didn't improve that. So you get a lot of instances where you think you're going in the right place, but because everything is so heavily instanced, you end up going to a completely different zone. And you may have to go around like 5 more zones to get to exactly where you need to go. I think that's what really sets this game back a lot. Like when you actually get into a dungeon and stuff, Like, the game is actually really enjoyable, but like, just finding where to go it's far more frustrating than it should be. And it's a very technically impressive game for the Vita. I think this is one of the most ambitious games on that platform. I mean, it's a pretty full, big adventure game and stuff, but unfortunately they couldn't be bothered to actually fix those problems when they ported it. And I remember pointing that out when the game was, when I got the review key. It's like, the game is fun, but it's far too easy to get lost. Well, yeah, East 9 is not going to be chained to the Vita, so it's probably going to be a much smoother playthrough. I mean, the new mechanics look cool, too. I don't know, most games like this, they give you a really slow and clunky character. You can't run for more than like 3 seconds without being tired. Or everything is just massive for no reason. Like, this game fixed those issues, but due to the technical limitations, like, the actual exploration and getting lost is just far too common. I know I wasn't the only one that thought that, too. A lot of people say this is, like, a perfect game. I really don't think it's far from that. And it's mostly just the limitations of it being a Vita game so it sets this game back. It's kind of weird how they like made the game run at 60 FPS, which is like unprecedented for a Japanese developer, because they're normally the ones that they tie the game logic to the frame rate, so the games are like perpetually stuck at 30 FPS, or they have to do more work to fix it than they bother. But they didn't actually fix the getting lost. The navigation is really bad in this game.
Yeah, my turn now.
Yeah, but when you're like, the map tells you to go somewhere and you can't find it because everything's heavily instanced, I don't really think that's the kind of exploration they were intending. And that's mostly the issue with this. You can't just pick somewhere and go somewhere. You have to find the corresponding instance, or the zone, the loading zone that will take you there. And that's what gets really confusing about this game. Like, actually exploring is fun, it's just kind of hard to find the loading zone that's actually the one that you need to go to. But the next one's probably not going to have loading zones like that, at least not as many, so I should fix that problem. East 9 is in about a month.
You don't need to know that right now.
In Japan.
It's so rude.
Now, go ahead.
Alright. Play something else now. That's pretty much the only adventure game I played where it's mostly just how many loading zones there are is what kind of makes it confusing. But from what I've seen in East 9, they've like improved the traversal looks like it's going to be even better, and it's not going to be limited by a weak platform like the Vita, so I think I'll probably like that one even more. But I'm not really sure if I'm going to bother importing it.
Devil may cry.
Devil Breaker. Overkill. Punchline. Mega Buster. Pasta Breaker. Overkill.
Oh, I gotta change the gotta change the script. Hold on. Well, Capcom said that they were gonna be at Gamescom and announcing stuff, and I think all they did was a Monster Hunter trailer, so apparently there's still a chance for it to happen, but I really think people got their hopes up.
Devil Breaker. Let's get airborne. Let's get airborne.
Freaking Switcher script's all messed up. I don't know why it's doing that. Yeah, I must have changed it. Let's see. Yeah, that's what's happened. They changed it. I guess you can't just put it on 8 anymore. It's trying to do like all 13, and I don't know how to change it. I might have to go back to the old table. Hold on. Alright, am I good now? Yeah, everything's in order now. Alright. I hate these enemies. I hate how they just don't stagger when they want to. Really annoying. Not fun to fight. Like that, should freaking stagger them. Instead, they just walk it off. You have so much health, too. Yeah, I don't feel like playing this right now. I was hoping they were going to announce Virgil this week, but they announced basically nothing, just Monster Hunter, which I couldn't care less about. They need to make a faster Monster Hunter that's not so damn slow, and maybe I would actually bother to play it. That's like the only thing they announced, too. They didn't announce anything else. And, like, thought they would have something else, anything, even like a remaster or something. Like, does Monster Hunter even count? That's coming out in like a month, right? The reason Jacob, the reason people were thinking Virgil was going to come out was because it was a post from 4chan, and apparently the original DMC5 leaks came from there. But the problem with that is that anybody can post on there and be anonymous, so who knows if that was actually the same person. But the leaks were like realistic enough that people actually were starting to believe that there was some credibility to them. A lot of the other stuff they mentioned was things like Mega Man X9, which is pretty much all but confirmed. They just haven't announced it. Because the X collection did very well, and they even placed a hint in there, hinting to an X9. And there's that mobile game coming out that's supposedly supposed to tie into that as well. And then the rest was mostly stuff like just things like the Onimusha games being remastered. So it wasn't like the typical BS rumor where they're saying like just nothing but Megaton AAA games and stuff. There's a lot of smaller stuff like Switch ports and Mega Man X9. But I don't think Capcom really announced anything. I don't know how much longer Gamescom is going for. I think it's actually ending soon. I'm actually kind of curious now. Well, it goes until Saturday, so I guess they could announce something tomorrow. That seems highly unlikely at this point. Actually, no, there was one other announcement. The other announcement was DMC5 coming to Games Pass, which I think is pretty lame. It's like basically saying we don't care about this game anymore. Here, just take it for free. But at the same time, it also kind of when you think about it, it means that they are trying to expand the brand, especially since nobody really plays anything on Xbox anymore. So maybe they are actually going to come back and add things people actually want, like being able to play as every character on every level, and then Virgil, of course. But either way, it doesn't seem likely this Gamescom. They probably would have said something by now. They had a pretty lame showing, all things considered. That was all they had. They had a 6-month-old game on Games Pass, and then a Monster Hunter trailer, which is coming out in a couple weeks anyways. It's basically pointless. They didn't have anything else at all. I thought they would at least like crap out like a Switch port or something. That's what that leak mentioned. I believe it was Onimusha and then something else. I don't remember what other game it was, but it's possible. But I think people are still getting their hopes up too high. I honestly just want them to go back and just let you play as any character on any level. That would improve the replay value so much. As it stands now, I have like almost double the playtime on Assault Spy than I do DMC5, because DMC5 is just such a more replayable game. I mean, such a less replayable game. I mean, every time they post anything about the game, there's a bunch of people asking for Virgil. So I assume that it will happen at some point, but Mega Man X Dive? I haven't really seen much on it. I don't like how it's a mobile game. I wish they would just put it on the Switch or something. The KOF mobile game is decent, but the rates to get anything are like abysmal, and it would have to spend like my entire monthly gaming budget to get anything in that game, and it's still held back by being on a shitty platform like mobile, but the gameplay is actually pretty decent. So it mostly depends on how Mega Man X Dive is monetized, and if it emulates well, then I probably would play it. But for whatever reason, they keep like trying to raise the bar with mobile games and have like actual gameplay instead of just tapping scantily clad, big boobed anime girls in turn-based combat that takes no skill. Like they're actually trying to make legit mobile games now, but they don't have controller support. So some of the games they just can't be played like they should be because you can't use a controller. I did look at a little bit of gameplay of it. I mean, it looks decent, and apparently that leak said that that game is supposed to lead into Mega Man X9, which is totally acceptable. I mean, that's what mobile games should be doing, especially with how predatory and microtransaction filled as they are. They should be funding like brand new entries in that respective franchise, whatever they're based on. So if that's what they're doing, cool. I mean, if it's actually like a Mega Man X game that plays like one, it's not too limited by being on a shitty platform like mobile, then sure, I'll play it. But it has to emulate well because I have a cheap $90 phone and I hate touchscreen controls. I won't play anything that requires a touchscreen. So if the stars align, yeah, I'll probably check it out, but that's about it. Let's see if I feel like doing anything else tonight. I feel like they should have had Virgil, like, planned as post-launch support in the first place. I don't really understand why he's not playable. As it stands, no one likes playing as V. And because they made V just half of Virgil, it felt kind of pointless, because they can't, like, actually make him fun to play without doing some Kingdom Hearts bullshit where, I don't know, he becomes a separate half or something stupid like that. I think the concept of V is actually pretty cool, but it's already been done better in their own franchise, Sengoku Basara. You know, they have Motonari in that game, and he's actually pretty cool to play once you can set everything up and you learn how to play him. But V is he's just torture. He's not fun to play at all. And he feels like half a character. And I would think that they would make Virgil playable, especially since they went ahead and they got the whole face model for him and everything. And he already has like half a moveset. It doesn't really seem like it would have taken that much effort to put him in. Yet every social media post they make, anything regarding DMC at all, people are asking for it. They have to know that there's a demand. It's just like, why wasn't it planned in the first place? I mean, that's kind of an obvious way to make more money. Like, they're a business. You know, they make games we like, but their main goal is to make money, and they're basically sleeping on a bunch of money right now by not putting him in there. My problem with his moveset is that he sucks at crowd control, and the demons don't do what you tell them to. It feels like they're suggestions instead of commands, and that kind of stuff doesn't fly when it's a character action game and they're known for precision and, you know, the player being in full control of the character, having it be responsive. You know, you push the button and the character does exactly what you say every time. And it's more about how you you know, how you use the tools you're given well, because the game doesn't really give you that many limits. But V is a completely limited and boring character, and you don't really feel like he's responsive. That's why he feels so shitty to play. Yeah, he's like a tab target MMO character in a freaking the pinnacle of character action games. Camera angle's all messed up. What happened? Alright, I think that's a good stopping point. In the morning, I should be able to finish my event on KOF All-Stars. So I'll have a couple attempts to get Nest Kyo. So that's the plan in the morning. I should be on around 8. I don't know if I'll actually be able to finish it tomorrow. I hope that I will be able to. If not, then Sunday for sure. And then I'll probably progress a little bit more in East. So I'll catch you guys later. Thanks for watching.